This kind of bag with these features does not exist. You've actually just created a more robust and more durable camera bag for a fraction of the price of what they would sell it to you if you bought it directly through them. Hey, I'm gonna share a really simple and cheap trick that can help dramatically transform the way you use your camera bag, help save you some money, as well as increase the value and productivity you get out of said camera bag. Before we jump into that, you'll notice a bit of a change to the studio behind me. Once again, I decided to rearrange my entire office studio space here. My desk used to be about 4 feet in that direction with more of the water backdrop behind me here. That's kind of like the running joke with why I have that sign behind me that always says new studio, wow. It's because almost every time I upload a new video, I've done something different with the studio. So onto the video itself. A few months ago, I was thinking to myself, wow, I have all this cool camera gear, but I'm very reluctant or hesitant to take it out with me on a shoot, especially smaller ones. And I've kind of talked about this issue before in past videos. I don't want to feel over encumbered by my bag and my gear. If your camera bag isn't on your bag, if your camera bag isn't on your back, isn't weighing you down, you are far more likely to bring that extra lens, that extra camera, that slider, or that gimbal. And honestly, it's made shooting just far more fun and enjoyable now because you're taking out that really annoying and sometimes painful experience of having to actually carry your gear around. I wanted to travel efficiently with my gear. And if you're a videographer and you have a lot of cameras and lenses, you know how quickly your bag can get overpacked, really heavy, and just it's such a burden to carry around with you on your back all the time. Depending on where you're going, especially if you're going between different locations and you have to walk between those different locations. Previously, what I've done is I've had a red wagon. It worked well, but a couple things. One, it's really big, so it's not the most convenient thing to pull around with you all the time. And it does solve the issue of getting the camera gear off your back, which is great, and you can carry far more than just the stuff in your bag because it's just so much bigger. But one, it's not as stealthy, so you're drawing more attention to yourself. And two, it doesn't look that great, so if you're trying to maintain more of a professional look, you're not really going to want to do that for like a wedding or whatever. You're trying to remain as stealthy and in the background as possible. I need something that's actually a camera bag, and I started thinking, well, what about rolling camera bags? But I saw the prices and they were like at least $300-400 for essentially the same exact camera bag that cost half, if not less, than the rolling counterpart. So I thought that was ridiculous. And a lot of them also had compromises. They weren't the ideal camera bag for me. The market for camera bags with wheels is targeted towards the really pro level where they don't need the convenience factor. It's not really designed for the prosumer, the more individual user, which is a one-man shooting team that needs all their gear in their bag. They need to be able to easily unpack it, use it, and go between different locations really quickly. And the camera bag results that you see like on B&H and 𝗵𝗻𝗄 that kind of are more for prosumers are still more suitcase-like. They don't actually have a lot of the convenience and features that regular camera bags do. For example, I wanted a camera bag that had an easy access slot from the top where I could just easily grab a camera or a lens and not have to open the entire bag or set it down. I now have my trusty and now favorite camera bag, the Endurax Large Camera Bag. Their naming scheme isn't that great, but the bag is fantastic and it's really affordable. At under $200, it's large, it's comfortable to wear, and it carries all my gear for the most part, but it didn't have wheels. So the solution I came up with, which is super simple, super cheap, and really effective, is just to get a luggage travel cart, which are primarily designed for suitcases or backpacks to allow you to travel with them a lot more easily. It works perfectly for camera bags as well, as I'll show. Couple other things I want to note with this hack. To really make the most of it and make it easiest to set up, you're going to really want a backpack like mine that has a lot of straps or hooks, which makes it easier to wrap around the bars of the luggage cart. From my experience, using 2 to 3 wrapping points is more than enough. I've pulled and rolled this for miles without it becoming remotely loose and me fearing that the bag would fall off at any point. You notice with my cart selection, I have 3 large wheels on each side, which allow it to easily go up and down stairs really easily, as well as other rough terrain. So when I picked that out, I was thinking that there are going to be a lot of shoots, venues, weddings, and locations, like I've done in the past, which have stairs. The other really nice thing about the wheels being so large is that it allows my bag to be pretty far off the ground. For mine, my backpack is about 3 to 4 inches off, which allows me to protect the bag and its contents from getting wet or other debris on it as easily. The other big thing and benefit of doing this hack, again, over getting a camera bag that has wheels built in is that durability. So when I shot a wedding a couple months ago in Maine, where they had just recently watered the park I was filming in, it was a huge benefit to have that because I could quickly roll between locations and not worry about picking it up and treading lightly because I didn't want to get my bag and said gear inside of it damaged, especially when you're just walking down the sidewalks, going down curbs, a lot of other obstructions and things like that that would normally make it extremely difficult to just carry this around for a long period of time. A rolling bag just transforms the game, and I think is one of the most useful hacks that I have come up with in my time shooting over the past years. I know for me, my back is not the same and has definitely been hurt from the prolonged periods of time of carrying my gear, but that's not an issue anymore, and I can take that strain off my back because I can roll it now. I've saved a ton of money and gotten a much more featureful camera bag because I've gone this route. My bag at its core has more pockets, compartments, and more features that are finely tuned to me. Perhaps in your case, you already have a bag that you love that's perfect for your use case. You don't need to upgrade and move away from that backpack. You can continue to use that bag you love so much because you're just adding wheels to it now. The only downside I've noticed with this hack here is that you can't quickly use your bag as a backpack compared to before where you could just throw on the straps. Because all your straps are being used as tie down points, you have to undo them, and if you're doing loops and things like that I'm doing on mine. So for people who are trying to go quickly from cart mode to backpack mode, it is just gonna take a bit of time. Not the worst thing in the world, but something to keep in mind. I haven't run into situations where I needed to quickly switch from cart mode to backpack mode. In fact, I haven't really run into any situations where I needed to get into backpack mode at all since getting the rolling cart. In fact, because you have this rolling cart solution now, it frees up your back. So if you do have another backpack that you're traveling along with, maybe for additional accessories or just a bag in general that doesn't have camera gear at all, because you put your heavy camera bag on this rolling solution here. All in all, this is a really cheap and easy hack for your camera bag and will dramatically transform the way you shoot if you're someone like me who has a lot of gear and wants to carry it all with them all the time. Even if you pack more lightly and don't carry as much gear with you, this can still be a really cool solution for you because you won't get as fatigued as quickly by carrying that bag consistently on your back for that long period of time. But I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to make a quick video talking about this transformative way of filming with your existing gear and taking it to the next level and adding additional value and convenience to gear you already have. Like I said, for me, it's been a game changer and perhaps it will be for you. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you've got similar hacks or ideas for improving your filmmaking experience, I'd also like to hear about those. Until the next one, guys, as always,